It's Man City against Chelsea this weekend in the Premier League. It's being described as a title-defining game. Ali Moreno, how important is it for Chelsea not to lose this clash?
Critically important. They have no choice. They lose this game, it's see you later. Goodbye, take care. Thanks for coming. We appreciate your efforts, but you are not winning this title. It's turn the lights off and warm up the bus, time to go home if you're Chelsea, if indeed you lose this game against Manchester City, which really puts a different sort of feel and spin to this game when we think that it is Chelsea that needs to chase a game away from home against Manchester City. And yet it is the personality of Manchester City to be the proactive team, the team with the possession. Those dynamics will make this game very interesting because now Chelsea really have to get after Manchester City at some point in this game. They can't just absorb pressure. They can't just sit in and hope that they get something on the counter because they need 3 points out of this match if indeed they're serious about contending for a title. Now, the issue is that if indeed you go and attack Manchester City, do you then open yourself up and then the possession of Manchester City and the quality of their attack and their ability to complete passes in the attacking half, do they now then take full advantage of that and then carve you to pieces? That's going to be a decision that Thomas Tuchel is going to have to make. But at some point, Chelsea is going to have to come out and play. And at some point, Manchester City is going to be able to take advantage of some of those spaces.
Yeah, it's interesting talking about them obviously having to come out and play because they've conceded 4 in their opening 12 Premier League games and have now conceded 12 in their last 9. So getting the balance right is obviously going to be a big part of it. How much do you think the problems are down to the defence for Thomas Tuchel's men?
It's been a combination of a few things for Chelsea. It hasn't just been the controversy of Romelu Lukaku. It hasn't just been his lack of productivity. There's been lack of productivity in the attack in terms of really explosive displays of a team that is truly going to create a bunch of chances, score a bunch of goals with some consistency. So that's one part of it. But certainly when you think about Thomas Tuchel and their success and the Champions League and everything that we have seen from Chelsea, you think of a team that will defend well first. When you see this team struggling to defend or giving up goals and giving up silly goals, mistakes and things that you're not expecting, you're seeing mistakes from the back line, you're seeing mistakes from the goalkeeper, you're seeing mistakes through the midfield. And those things put together with the fact that you're not really creating all sorts of opportunities and you're not really all that explosive in the attack, that's when you have the inconsistencies and that's when you have the lack of results that you've had over the last month or so.
So a win for City, they'll move 13 points clear. A win for Chelsea cuts the gap to 7. Does that still keep Chelsea in it for you?
Well, it keeps them in it. I don't know if it's in it to win it, but they're in it. Look, this is really going to come down to Manchester City. It's no longer in the hands of Chelsea. Manchester City is going to have to help Chelsea. It's going to have to help Liverpool in order for somebody to come and actually challenge for this title. So Manchester City is going to have to go through a stretch of games in which they're dropping points here, they're losing a game there, some injuries, maybe some inconsistency. They're going to have to go through a slump themselves in order to give an opportunity for these other teams to have a chance. But when you expected that maybe Manchester City would drop some points, maybe through the festivity period, maybe there were a couple of games there that perhaps they lose a couple of points. No, they stayed perfect through all of that while everybody else was kind of tripping all over themselves. And that's why we're at 10 points now between Chelsea, 11 points with Liverpool. It's a major gap. We're talking about double digits here. And if indeed that's the case, then you're going to have to depend not only on Chelsea being perfect or on Liverpool being perfect, but you're also going to have to depend on Manchester City dropping points to some random teams, and I just don't see that happen.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube, and for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app, and for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.